Hi Pisces, I hope that you're all doing well. We're here with a timeless reading. I was seeing the Lovers wanting to come out immediately. We'll see. We have Temperance that we're starting with. And I'm also seeing the Devil come out, but it kind of twisted around like it's reversed. Having Temperance and having the Devil can be about needing to get something under control. But if we do really take this Devil coming out reversed rather than being upright, I do see the Devil reversed as being like something that you may have struggled with before prior to moderate, that maybe now you actually have more of a grasp, maybe more of an ability to control that. Because the Devil can be something that, like, it had a lot of potency, and it's not that it doesn't anymore, but when the Devil is reversed, it can kind of be like losing the magic of why that thing, there was such an obsession with that or such a reliance on that. That's how I see the Devil coming out reversed. When the Devil is upright, I see it being that really powerful attraction to something, or our attraction to what we believe something is going to promise us. But when the Devil comes out reversed, it feels almost like that thing loses its magnetism because we're gaining a more real perspective of that. And so it can be this thing that before there's like an obsession with that, before there's this, like, this is going to be the answer, it definitely is. When it's coming out reversed, it feels like there's something becoming more clear about that. Like, there is no cure-all. Like, this really isn't, well, in as far as this is concerned, that it isn't the cure-all, that it's not that thing that makes everything better. So I do feel like there's in time, there's more and more of an awareness gained of something that in the past you may have had a really hard time not completely surrendering your energy to this. Now this feels like, as time is going by, as you're working more and more with this energy, it doesn't have that hold on you the same way. It doesn't have that control over you the same way. It doesn't mean it's not a thing anymore, because we have the energy here. It just means that you're getting better at working with it and not losing yourself over to the energy. And you can also be coming to a realization too that in a way the Devil can give you things, but it cannot be giving you that deeper thing that you're actually looking for. And you can feel in a way like it was more so a distraction that never fully delivered. And even though the energy is still there and you're still working with it, you can feel like you're not so blinded by its energy anymore. Like, there's more of a, I can see through what I maybe wasn't willing to see before, wasn't ready to see before, when I wanted to believe that this was going to be the be-all end-all answer. Having Temperance here shows you're still working with this energy, so this isn't something that you look at and you're like, I have no problem with it anymore. It's still there and it does still impact things, but I'm seeing the work that you've been doing. It's different now, how you're approaching this. I get that before you could have really signed all of your energy over to it, and now it feels like more aware of the reality. Okay, what do we have here? We do have an Ace of Wands. I'm hearing uncharted territory. Having Ace of Wands and having the Lovers, this indicates that there is an opportunity that you have with another person. You can put your energy into this if you want to. This is somebody coming through and saying, hey, you want to partner up? Hey, you want to connect? Hey, do you want to expand the potential of our relationship, so this is a Lover's card, and it feels like it's extending this to you. If you want to go through that door, there's another person that's attached to this. What this means is that there's potential for a relationship in your life to grow. Yes, we are ending with the Ace of Swords. I love to see that because this means that what you're trying to figure out with Temperance, you're going to see what you need to see, because we have some really tricky energies. When we have the Devil here and we have Neptune, when we have the Devil here and we have Neptune on top of it, what that can mean is that the Devil is the stuff that basically will get in the way of you actually seeing how things really are. It skews the perspective. Because we basically get seduced into an illusion. And there is something that we're looking for, and this thing is trying to persuade you that it's the answer, but it's not really. And so it's kind of like a false answer, essentially, because it's not really going to give you what you're looking for. And then also having Neptune here too, this is about dispelling the illusion. This is also about your ability to judge realistically the reality that you're experiencing as well, and not be so persuaded by what you want when that's not in fact what's actually happening, but then believing that it is. So it's sort of working with those elements of the energy, whatever we tell ourselves when the Devil is involved, about how that's really going to be the answer, how that's really going to be the cure-all, and then getting into a place where there's a growing awareness, there's a seeing of what is actually what you're looking for, what is actually posing as that, but is not really, but really puts on a good show, and then having to decipher the energy. As you're working with this with Temperance, we end with Ace of Swords, which means that anything that had been clouding your vision, you're about to have a breakthrough. And this can be an interesting time to see, because there can be things that you thought were one way, and then you end up seeing things clearly, and it looks a bit different than you anticipated initially. So there can just be stuff going on where you could have been like, this is what I'm seeing, but is that really what's going on here? Am I really seeing this accurately? Us ending with this Ace of Swords shows that you have a breakthrough, and that whatever, it's like when somebody's under a spell, like a love spell, let's say. Somebody takes the love spell and then they're like acting all crazy in the TV show or in the movie or whatever because they're under this love spell, and so their whole perspective is shifted based off of this like alternate reality that they're sort of in, even though everybody else is looking around and seeing what's going on, sort of seeing this person. It's very real what's being experienced, but it's that altered reality that's being tapped into, that's being tuned into, like a radio station. So it is sort of existing, but it's not, and sort of coinciding with the other reality that's at play. You're basically going to be pitched back into a different reality timeline, where you're going to see that you were essentially like under the love potion spell. And it doesn't have to be only about a relationship, but for some of you, I'm seeing that it actually does have to do with that. Especially too, because this is a Pisces reading and we have Neptune, and when Neptune is involved in things, it's that trying to decipher between what's real, or am I projecting this? Is that what's really happening, or is this just really what I want and I'm having a hard time reconciling that, and so I'm just gonna believe it, and then you're sort of under the influence of this energy. And it happens to the best of us. And also too, the way the energies work are like they're meant to do that. It's meant to put you under the love spell. It is meant to sort of pull you down into that. It's meant to put the goggles over so you sort of fall for it and try to work within the energy. What's going on though is that I'm seeing you're about to get, basically it's about to wear off. You're about to get the antidote to this. And so what I'm seeing is that this feels like having not needed to jump to a conclusion as times were kind of confusing here, because the spell is about to be broken. And having this Ace of Swords here, you are about to see something so clearly that it was like impossible to see it like this before for some reason, because the spell had to wear off. I essentially am connecting this probably with a transit that you're going through, and when the strength of the transit is really, really like difficult to break out of or not be under the influence anymore, as it gets less and less, you can then have this breakthrough, which feels like it's going to be a very clear understanding of something that was not clear before. Because this could have even had you wanting to make moves but not seeing everything clearly because of being under the influence. And now what happens is that there is that breaking out of it. I love to see the Ace of Swords, because it shows that at the end of the day, you're going to see what's really going on, that spell is going to be broken. And so there's no more guesswork about what's really happening. What am I projecting? This is confusing. Am I just believing what I want here? Is that really what's going on? All of that is going to be broken here, and you will just get the truth with the Ace of Swords. But it's something that because the love potion was there and you've been under the influence of it, what I'm seeing is that this is something that you sort of had to work through being under the influence of that, only to now come out under the truth. And that being something that the spell is broken and you look around you and it feels like you can actually finally see everything, and you don't feel like you're second guessing yourself anymore. And that is a really beautiful feeling. It can be a bit startling too sometimes, depending on where we were and what was going on. But it can also be something that ultimately brings you comfort because it's the truth. So there's not going to be that uneasy feeling of, what am I not seeing here? Or is something going on and I just feel like I'm not seeing clearly, but I can't really figure out what it is. This is like all of that. You get broken out of all of that, so then you can really see. And that being a very, very beautiful moment of like perfect attunement and perfect clarity. Maybe that's a sign to just leave the reading here. Let me see if there's anything else. So we have Sagittarius, we have Capricorn, we have Gemini, and we also have Neptune. And I'm seeing Virgo on the bottom of the deck as well. You could have been trying to decide what it was that you needed, what it was that you wanted, what you didn't want, what was what you were looking for, what was not what you were looking for. It feels like something along the lines of that's been being figured out. And your feelings that wanted to express themselves, and what you felt was appropriate versus not appropriate. Because I almost get that something was sort of coming around, and there could have been an initial assessment of what an energy was when it was presenting itself. And having this Ace of Swords here feels like you don't have to guess anymore, that it just becomes very, very, very clear, and that you see everything you were not seeing before. And there's a sense of confidence within that you are seeing everything. There's nothing that you're not seeing. It's not confusing anymore. You're not under some like influence anymore, that you just have that clarity and you feel confident within that because it's real. This isn't like, I think that I'm sensing that, but I'm not really sure, and how am I supposed to tell, because it's really difficult for me to, there was just something like that was going on, that now it's over. The spell is broken. That's again the way that I'm getting this energy, and it feels like it took a bit of time to get to this, but not because of you not processing properly. I do feel like this has to do with a transit, and you were just basically under the influence of that, and so you couldn't like make the time pass any faster. You couldn't make the planets move any faster. This feels like it just had to run its course, just like when you take something, how it needs to like go through the whole system. Basically that's what happened, and then we come out here where you see everything for what it is. There's no more second guessing. There's a confidence in that, and the confidence is not unruly. The confidence is not delusional. This is a type of confidence where you feel confident because it is the truth and you know the truth. And then that feels like that satisfaction within of, now I really am seeing everything, and there's nothing that was unclear anymore that hasn't surfaced at this point. I am seeing everything. And at that point when it happens, this feels like there may be some turning inward or some looking inward and evaluating then what you want to do. But you have secured the truth now. You have secured clarity now. This looks like it has to do with a partnership. Like there's another person that's on the other end of this. So it looks like it's in the context of that. Some of you, multiple partnerships can be involved as well. And this is going to be that turning in and figuring out, now that you have the answers, what do you want to do with that? So that's what I'm seeing going on here. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.